Now let's look at your assignment. Your assignment, whether you like it or not, is going to be to bust a myth. Now what I mean by that is, in abnormal psychology, psychological disorders often have full of myths. And it's not that it's always deliberate, but it's people who don't really know that much about psychological disorders, and so they make some assumptions, or they use very little to no evidence to form an opinion about people with psychological disorders. Now, if you notice on page 1 here, there's a section that sort of shows you some sample topics. You're free to choose one of those ones, but you might have come up with another one of your own. And I'm fine with you doing, if you want to check it out with me, just send me an email saying, here's what I think about a myth, and I will help you tailor it down or expand it, but I can certainly help you out if you need any. Now the next page you're going to see is just basically step by step. And so what I want you to do within your assignment, you're going to make a video for me. You're going to explore what is the myth. So clarify what the myth is. And then I want you, with your research, you're going to come up with 3 pieces of research. Tell me what the research says about the real issues associated with the psychological disorder instead of the mythological ones or the myth ones. What's genuine, what's real, what's evidence-based. So for example, a very common myth is that people with schizophrenia are more violent and aggressive than anybody else. But the reality is they're not. And in fact, they're probably more likely to be victimized than they are to perpetrate against somebody else, or they're likely to be self-degrading and self-abusive. But the point here is, find the research that says what the reality is. So clarify the myth, find the research that counters that myth, create a counter-argument basically saying, well, this isn't true because the evidence supported by this author says this. So you notice I said this author. I don't want your opinion. I want research-based. It's helping you understand the reality of what it is for some people with different disabilities, that they often get misunderstood because there's not evidence to support the beliefs that people have about people with different psychological disorders. So you're going to see steps here. The third page is looking at the due date, November 22nd, by 5 p.m. in your journal. You are to post 3 things. A URL to your video, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. A script in a PDF format. You can't make a video without a script. That way you know what you're saying, when you're supposed to say it, and how you want to say it without making as many errors as you might make just winging it. So a script that matches the video, and the 3 pieces of research in PDF format. Now the video, don't be so panicked about it. I know a lot of people will often say to me, if I meet them in the hall or if they email, saying, I don't know how to make a video, this is going to really panic me. I will be posting a tutorial. You're going to use a website called Screencast-O-Matic, and I'll make a video on how to use it. Now there's 2 parts of the video in one video. One is how to use it. If you can make a PowerPoint presentation, a Prezi presentation, or a keynote presentation, and you've been in class and you've presented it in front of people using the podium, you've got your screen on your computer that's showing the play mode for PowerPoint, for example. Do a presentation. And every time you click the enter button, it changes a slide or it brings in a new item. That's exactly what you're going to do. Screencast-O-Matic will record your screen and your voice. Now I'll probably be making another video that walks you through how to use a software that will help with the audio. You need a microphone, so if you've got one, use one or borrow one from the library. They have Blue Yetis and they're great microphones. But what they do, or what you do, is you talk to your computer records your screen presents the presentation that you've created, and when you're done, the second part of the tutorial walks you through how to save it and how to end up posting it. If in that second part, what you'll do is you create an account with Screencast-O-Matic, and in there you can post your videos when you save your video. That way, what you can do when you go into your journal to post your video, you can create a share link, just like you might do if you were watching a YouTube video and you wanted to share it with a friend. You'd get a URL, copy and paste it into an email, and send it off to your friend. Screencast-O-Matic does the same thing. So when you post it to Screencast-O-Matic, it allows you to share a URL that you would cut and paste and put into your journal. Now, how to do that, how to post into your journal, you will have, if you've watched the video I posted in the first announcement, Blackboard Overview, it will walk you through how to do that. So copy and paste that, and then post the PDF document of your script and the 3 PDF resources that you've got from the Georgian library. Now, the librarians are a great help, so please ask them how to do proper searches to get good, credible information. And so your job, bust the myth. Find the evidence that says the myth is not correct. Now, this last page is your rubrics, basically walking you through how it's going to be marked. So look for where the emphasis is put and emphasize your work that way. I've had a lot of good feedback from this assignment where people just found out new information about psychological disorders that they didn't know that were fact-based, because some of them did hold, as many of us do, myths about some disorders. And so this can be a very good way to open your eyes to legitimate ways to view psychological disorders that support people better, not penalize them. Good luck to you all.